Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our co-main event for UFC 324. In our co-main event, we have an absolutely fantastic battle of strikers as the former bantamweight champion Sugar Sean O'Malley takes on the Kung Fu Kid Song Yadong. Like I said, this is a fantastic battle of strikers. Two very different types of strikers, but great strikers nonetheless. With Sean O'Malley, you have a more or less smooth operator who works at his absolute best at long distance, very fluid, very good with his feints, very good at causing opponents to react, and overall, just absolutely a sniper. Meanwhile, you have Song Yadong, who's much better in the pocket, explosive, powerful, primarily a boxer, but one who has devastating power in those hands of his. Like I said, this is a fantastic matchup and very much divisional relevance now that we have a new bantamweight champion. Because you think if Sean O'Malley wins, he'll probably get another title shot because he has history with Piotr Jan. If Song Yadong wins, he's finally in the contention as for a title, as he has been for years. He's always been around the top five for quite a few years. So the fantastic matchmaking, and this can only really be exciting. Now you look at it; both are 3-2 in their last five. For Song, his latest fight was the loss to Corey Sandhagen about 3.5 years ago. Then he went on a 2-fight win streak, beating Ricky Simone and Chris Gutierrez. His last loss was to Piotr Jan almost 2 years ago at UFC 299, which was a great fight. And then his most recent fight was last February in a win over Henry Cejudo, which is easily his biggest win to date. Meanwhile, for Sean O'Malley, he was on a nice win streak. He, during his rise to the title, beating Piotr Jan via split decision, which I know most people thought he lost. Still, close fight, great competitive fight nonetheless. Then he beats Aljo for the title, makes his first successful title defense against Marlon Vera on the same card as Jan fought Song. Now, that's his last win. Most recently, he was on a 2-fight skid, both times losing to Merab. The first time was last September. I take it back. September of 2024, where he lost Merab the first time, and then June of last year, where he got finished by Merab. So, like I said, not been great for O'Malley as recent. And most would think if Merab had beaten Piotr Jan in the rematch, then O'Malley, even if he were to win per se, would still have to fight a few more contenders before even attempting to get another title shot. But now that we have a new champion, the division is more or less wide open. And this is the perfect chance for O'Malley to get back to the title picture. Same with Song. I know he lost to Jan, but you think a good win over O'Malley would at least push him higher up the rank. Or sorry, at the very least, push Song and, like I said, to true contendership status. Now, looking at their styles or getting down to the breakdown, the stylistic clash here is kind of clear once the fight starts because Song is most effective when he can step into that mid to close range and force exchanges on his term. He more so relies on short bursts, tight boxing combinations, and heavy counters, like when Song was timing the head movement of Ricky Simone, and then when Simone dipped his head too much or relied too much on dipping and head movement, that's when Song was able to land that counter left hook and and have Simone on deer legs, essentially. Another thing Song is very good at is especially when opponents retreat in straight lines or linger just too long in the pocket. Think of it like when Marlon Moraes, when Song was able to basically get Moraes to duel him in the pocket, and eventually Song was able to fire off a 3-piece combination, that cross, left hook, right uppercut, that just knocked out Marlon Moraes. If opponents are not defensively aware enough, or if they stay in the pocket too long, like I just mentioned, Song will knock him out. And Song is very durable and confident, allowing him to take risk. And when Song is pressing successfully, he's going to build momentum quickly. Song wants the fight to feel physical and compact. That's and where reactions matter much more than the setups to those strikes. Plus, you got to think Song, like I said, very durable guy. He's not been TKO'd in years, not since he was basically 18. And the only other quote unquote TKO loss of recent was to Sandhagen, but that was a doctor stoppage. Now, looking at Sean O'Malley, his game works in the opposite direction. Still mostly primarily focusing on striking, but a different form of striking. O'Malley is at his best when fighting long and fluid, with space to read and react. O'Malley uses feints very well, very good at stand switching, and unconventional timing makes opponents hesitant, and that hesitation is where O'Malley finds his opening. Mostly, like you look at the Sterling fight, which is one of the best examples of O'Malley's counter striking, where his feints, his stand switching were constantly making Sterling very reactive and making Sterling hesitant on shooting the takedown. When Sterling started to open up, he left himself wide open. Also, O'Malley does another form of feinting where he likes to twist his head, which makes most opponents think he's going to do a spinning attack, which he has plenty of. Plus, I find it that O'Malley doesn't need extended exchanges. He just needs that one clean moment, because while Song is explosive and powerful, but just by looking at him, Sean hits with a unique level of power. What I mean is kind of like McGregor during his rise, when you don't think a guy who looks that skinny for this weight class could hit that hard, but once that clean right lands, it's seemingly more or less the touch of death. Now, it didn't knock out Marlon Vera, but Vera's one of the toughest SOBs we've ever seen in the UFC, so that's forgivable. But O'Malley's power is real in this division. Both guys are knockout artists of the highest level in the bantamweight division. They just do it very differently. For O'Malley, it is those straight punches down the middle, long kicks, and intercepting counters that allow him to score cleanly while minimizing return fire. For Song, he's very fine taking a shot to land his own knockout blow, and like I said, mostly relies on the pocket. Now, technically, I think the fight revolves around Song's ability to close distance without absorbing damage. While his speed and power are real threats, his forward pressure often comes in very predictable patterns. And O'Malley has shown a strong ability to recognize those entries and meet them with straight shots or quick angles, forcing opponents to restart rather than build sustained offense. And I think as the rounds progress, that dynamic could wear on pressure fighter, especially if clean shots accumulate and disrupt timing. Now, in terms of the grappling, but I don't really see either of them shooting for a takedown. If one were to shoot for a takedown, I would imagine it would be Song Yadong. He does have some wrestling and he's got good top control, but again, I don't really see him doing that much. Now, obviously, you could say, oh, well, O'Malley got absolutely wrestled to death by Merab. His grappling is terrible. More or less, it's like, it's Merab. Nobody really stops him. Excuse me. When it comes to the wrestling, O'Malley more or less has good takedown defense. More specifically, he's good at using his distance control so that opponents, when they even shoot for a takedown, are just too far away from O'Malley's hips to even get a sustained contact. Plus, O'Malley's very good at fighting the grips. You saw that with Aljo. When Aljo did shoot for a takedown in the first round, I believe, O'Malley was very good at breaking the grips and never letting Sterling lock his hands. And even against Petr Yan, where he did get taken down quite a few times, O'Malley was actually I thought a pretty good job at at being able to not only get up but avoid any devastating ground and pound. So O'Malley's defensively sound on the ground, well, more or less. It's just that, you fight a guy who's like going to shoot 15 to 20 takedowns a round. What is he supposed to do? I also think defensively, I think O'Malley's recent composure plays a major role, as O'Malley is more selective about when he engages and much more disciplined on the exits, while Song remains dangerous in those chaotic brawls and moments. But if O'Malley keeps exchanges very brief and controlled, I do think Song is forced into a chasing role, and that shift favors the longer, more deceptive striker who can dictate the tempo. So, for my official prediction, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. I think overall, when it comes to just how technical they are on the feet, O'Malley is the better technician. He also has, like I said, the physical attributes to help him greatly in this matchup with having the 72-inch reach advantage, or sorry, 72-inch reach. So he has about a 5-inch reach advantage over Song Yadong. Plus, he's taller, her, which, you know, at 5'11, I don't know how much that really comes into factor as more so the reach, but I think the physical tools of O'Malley, him being a better technician, and overall, I think the cleaner striker should help him greatly in this matchup, as I don't think Song's going to... excuse me. As I do not believe Song is really going to pose much of a wrestling threat. So overall, I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley. Now, I've been wondering, could he knock out Song Yadong? It's possible. Like I said, his power is real. But at the same time, Song Yadong has a great chin. I'm going to go with a decision here. If Sean O'Malley gets a knockout, that'd be awesome. And I would definitely think that would definitely boost his stock up. But I think Song Yadong is quite durable. And I think O'Malley is more so going to put on a performance very similar to the Chito Vera fight, where we get to see all of his striking arsenal, and he's just going to stay ahead in terms of the striking exchange. So once again, I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley, and I'm going to pick him via decision in this fight. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this fight. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary, and remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.